In class, we talked about one of my favorite things, targeting, where it comes down to target markets and target segments. There are differences, and sometimes they're indiscriminate in that people use them interchangeably. However, there are technically differences to it. When you're looking at a broad spectrum of everyone who might anyone who might potentially want to buy your product is going to be in your target market. Now, that doesn't mean that you want to target them or segment them or do any kind of action on that. Those would be your target segments or your segmentation or your targeting or something like that. Those are going to be, hey, this group of people has this specific enough trait that is quantifiable that we can take action off of. So one example might be teenage girls' propensity for listening to Taylor Swift music going to be higher than teenage girls' propensity to listen to Metallica. Now, a teenage girl might just take in any one teenage girl, she might listen to Metallica, so she might fall in the target market of Metallica, but likely will fall in the target segment of Taylor Swift, whether or not she is or isn't. The more specific data you can get in this regard, the better your results are going to be and the lower your cost is going to be to acquire them. But that's going to get into both demographic information, which is what we're talking about, a teenage girl, her gender, her sex, and an age group. Also, the location. If she's living in Russia, she might have a smaller propensity to listen to Taylor Swift and a higher propensity to listen to someone who's Russian born, who sings in Russian. So you're going to have those demographic information. Then, if you can get it, there are psychographic, there are firmographic. There's lots of different ways to look at it. Firmographic is going to be more if you're selling business to business. Is this person working at a company that's big enough that we're trying to attract, selling our products or services to another business? If you're looking at psychographic, that's more of what is their desires. What you're trying to get into how they think. Facebook is probably the best company to be able to quantify and associate this with individuals because you're telling them all the time, I like this, I like that. And so they say, oh, you like this politician, you like that brand, which means you probably also like this political party, or you like that product or similar products to that brand or companies to that brand. That's going to be more psychographic. Behavioral is another metric by which you can segment off of. That is going to be, have you purchased tickets to Taylor Swift in the past? If you have, you're more likely to buy a ticket in the future than someone who's never purchased a ticket to Taylor Swift in the past. That's a very good indicator. It's not perfect. None of these are perfect. Just because I buy tampons as a man doesn't mean that I'm likely or regularly going to buy those in the future. That just means that I have. And so it doesn't tell you exactly what's going to happen in the future. Then again, none of these things do. Where demographics might be a better angle for that female of a certain age range and shops at certain locations, behavioral. So there are lots of segmentation options. We've just dabbled in it right now, but I love this. We touched on it in marketing class, and it's what I've been doing for the last several years, working in digital marketing. So target market is everyone, the whole pie. Target segment is whom of that pie. Whom of that pie you're going to be segmenting, targeting, focusing. Some of the words are similar, who you're going to be targeting, so that's where it gets a little tricky, but basically you're saying of the whole pie, what slice do I want?